Well, as many of you know, God's given me, as far as ministry goes, a couple of loves. One, He has given me a love for the community of Ashland, and then also for a love for Africa. Recently, I've had an opportunity to go back to Africa with a very good friend of mine, Tom McLean. Tom's a missionary, and he's also the director of an organization called Convoy of Hope. He's the director over all of Africa. And so he recently invited me to go back with him. He's had some new programs going on there in Madagascar and then also in Kenya. And he invited me to go look at them, visit them, and see if there is any kind of potential for us as a church for maybe some future partnerships. And so we did. We went in, we flew in. It was a quick trip. We flew into Johannesburg. I flew in, spent the night there, flew into Madagascar. We spent 2 days on the ground with his team. We saw where they're feeding kids in the schools. And again, all of these kids, this is the only meal they get for the entire day. And so they're really in there trying to not just feed kids, but about reestablishing and rebuilding communities. When Convoy of Hope goes into these communities, they're there for a 3 to 5 year commitment. Just not about feeding the children, but really it's about reestablishing and rebuilding a community, from the spiritual aspect to agricultural, to cultural, to every piece, and to every piece of that community. They are committed to rebuilding those communities so they become self-sufficient and really no longer live with a victim's mentality, which is pretty prominent in Africa. And then we flew up to Kenya for another 2 days and seen a more progressive project where their team has been there probably about 7 to 9 years. They've been very active in building this. The Madagascar team is a year old, and so I saw the basic foundation in Madagascar of how they start a program, and then in Kenya I saw the ongoing results of a program. They are actually going into different communities now. They've just been approved for 2 communities in Kenya where they will go in. They're about towns about 10,000 people, 10 to 12,000 people, and they will go in again in each of these places and make a commitment. And so just an incredible time. And one of my experiences while I was in Kenya, I had a driver take me to what is called the San Mahar slums. It's one of the largest slums in the entire world. There are 660,000 people registered that live in this slum. In a square mile of about the size of Ashland, maybe Ashland County. So we have 55,000 people that live in Ashland County. So imagine 660,000 people living on top of one another in some of the worst living conditions you can't imagine. When you walk the street, there's ruts in the street from where the sewage water flows. As you walk through the streets, it's so fly infested that you can feel the flies bouncing off your legs as you walk and take steps. Children playing in that. Directly across the street from the school, there's a distillery where they make moonshine, and they will come over and take the boys out of the schools and put them to work at the distillery, and that will be the life that they will live. I did meet a pastor, Pastor Patrick. Oh, wow, what a man of God. He has the only church in that community, and he's also the headmaster of the school, and he is trying to educate these kids, trying to change their educational status and also trying to change their hearts. And wow, what a challenge. So the need is great, and so I'm back and praying my way through what I saw and experienced, but I can foresee somewhere down the line here where I'd like for us as a church to make some type of long-term commitment to one of these projects. I'm thinking of a 5-year commitment on our behalf to go in with Convoy of Hope when they start a program and start ground roots with them and see it all the way through with them and see what we can contribute by sending teams, funds, supplies, our skills, our gifts, all those different things. And so stay tuned. More to come. We have some more research to do, more decisions to make, and more prayer to lift up. But I think God's going to give us clear direction on where to go. So thank you for your support. Thank you for your prayers. And we are trying our best as a church to fulfill the scripture where Jesus says, "Go unto Jerusalem, Judea, and Samaria, and to the other ends of the earth. And let's go make some disciples." So thank you. I love you, church.